now I want us to take a look at how we estimate division problems. Estimating division problems, some people think it's kind of hard, but that just means they don't know the easiest way to do it. And we're actually going to use something called compatible numbers, and it does take a little more thinking than when we estimate with subtraction problems, addition problems, or multiplication problems. Okay, so here's what we have. We have 246,823 divided by 7. I hope you'll go ahead and write that problem down. And so the question is how to round this. Now we can't round them to the same place like we did in addition and subtraction because that would involve working the problem all the way out. And we actually want to be able to do, the point of estimation is do our problems quickly and in our head. We also, some people think, well, let's just do it like multiplication, and we could front end round this number. And if they did that, let me show you what they would do, but it's not what I want you to do. If they did that, they would say it's 200,000 divided by 7. Now here's the problem with that. I can't do that in my head. In fact, 7 doesn't go into 200,000. I would get 2 and 14, and then I'd have 60. And that would be an 8, and we would have 56, and it would be 40. And I'm not going to go all the way through this because the point is that's clearly not what we want to get out of our estimations. Let me put a big old X through that. What we actually are looking for is what is a division problem we could do in our head. And here's where division is different. Division is different because we can multiply any numbers in our head if we round them to one decimal place, or we can add any numbers in our head. But division only works when we have divisible numbers. And so what I want you to notice is 2 or 20 or 200 can't be divided by 7. So what I do is actually underline the first two places. They're 24. And I don't round to that place because that may not be divisible by 7. But what I do is I say, what is the closest number to 24 that can be divided by 7? So I want you to think about what you think is the closest number that can be divided by 7. You can pause the video and write it down, the closest number of 24, and then we'll come back and work it together. Okay, and this is where we learn a valuable lesson about math, because there's actually two ways we could go with this problem. The closest number to 24 that can be divided by 7 is actually 21. So I could round that 24 to a 21 and then just put zeros behind it. So I could say 210,000 divided by 7. And the advantage of doing that is now I can actually do this division problem in my head. I know what 21 divided by 7 is. 21 divided by 7 is 30,000. And so my answer should be close to 30,000. And so if you did that, that's good. Now you'll notice that's not rounding the number to the nearest 10,000. That's rounding it to what I would call the nearest compatible number. It's a number I can divide by 7 in my head. Now some of you may have actually noticed that 210,000 is close to 246,000, but it's actually an even closer number divisible by 7. We could have also rounded the 24 to a 28, and so we could have also said 280,000, and that's actually slightly closer, but the difference isn't big. 280,000 divided by 7, well, 28 divided by 7 is not 3, it's 4, and there's 4 zeros, so we would get 40,000. And this is one of those problems where I would accept either answer, but the key is to understand that we're going to do compatible numbers. And so let me give you another problem, problem B, for you to try on your own. Go ahead and write down problem B, 346,194 divided by 6. And I want you to recognize that if you round that, it may or may not be divisible by 6. So let's actually find the closest number to 34 that can be divided by 6. Why don't you go ahead and write down what you think that is. Okay, for me, I found that the closest number to 34 that I can divide by 6 is 36. So I put 360,000 divided by 6. Now 36 divided by 6 is 6, and there's 4 more zeros. And so I got that the answer is about 60,000. Now it is very possible that somebody recognized they could have just rounded to the nearest 100,000 on this one because 30 is divided by 6. Just remember, you can't always just round it to the nearest place. In this case, you can. And 30 divided by 6 is 5, And so you could have also gotten 50,000. This is estimation, it's not exact, so we should expect that sometimes there will be more than one good answer. But that is how we use compatible numbers. Remember, we don't front end round it around to the same place, but we find the closest number we can divide in our heads, and that's how we round division. And that will save you a lot of time and make math a lot easier for you.